Hey, it's Brian here, and I wanted to give you some buying advice on used mountain bikes and which brands and specific models I try to avoid. So, first brand that I'm always skeptical to buy is Specialized and anything with the Brain suspension. Specialized Brain suspension was a collaboration between Fox at one point in time and then most recently with RockShox. Specialized has said that they're really only offering the parts and the servicing of these components for 6 years. So that means if you go out and you buy a $10,000 bike and it has one of these Brain components to it, you're kind of out of luck after 6 years. That's what Specialized has determined the product life to be, even though a lot of these bikes from, for example, 2015, 2014, 2013 are still amazing cross-country race bikes. Yeah, you just can't get the parts, so it's probably not worth spending your money on. The second brand that I'm always a little reluctant to buy used, or especially if it's older, is any Cannondale. So Cannondale uses a suspension design in the front of their bikes called the Lefty fork. Amazing fork, torsionally, like one of the stiffest forks that you'll ever ride. Just a great design fork. However, no one will service them, and it is incredibly hard to get the older versions of Lefties to get any parts for them. So for example, I had a 2012 Cannondale Flash Hardtail, and I ended up having to take the fork off and send it to a person in New York to get it serviced because no one in my local Denver, Colorado area was willing to touch the fork. In fact, to my knowledge, there's only one person in all of the US that works on older Lefty forks. And I hope he never retires. Be ready to ship that fork off every time you need it worked on. And also, FYI, there's only one person who works on it in the US. So make smart buying decisions, especially when it comes to used. Don't buy cracked carbon. Just be smart about, be smart and strategic about the bikes you buy. And hopefully you can buy a bike that has kind of more standardized universal parts that you can swap in and swap out as the bike starts to age. And you want to upgrade it over time, right? Suspension comes a long ways in 5 years' time. So those are my recommendations. Hope this helped. Reach out if you have any questions. I'll put the link to the person who works on Cannondale front forks down below. Thanks for your questions. I try to get back to them. And yeah, give me a subscribe because it helps me make a little bit of money and covers my costs on camera equipment.